Okay, so another Leetcode question. There are two goals in this interview. So the first one is to see how to solve this problem and put in some code here. And the other purpose is to see how to solve this problem properly during an interview. So let's get started. The first step is always to try to understand the problem. If there's anything unclear, please bring up the question to the interviewer. And also at the same time think about some edge cases which you need to take special care of during the coding part. So let's take a look at this question. So maximum swap. Given a non-negative integer, you could swap 2 digits at most once to get the maximum valued number and return the maximum value number you could get. Alright, so 2736 and the output is 7236. So we are going to swap 2 and 7. Alright, so another example, input is 9973, output is 9973. Okay, no swap. Alright, so I think I pretty much understand the problem. I would say for some cases, for example, if the number is smaller than 10, then we just need to return the original number. Otherwise, potentially we need to do some swap. So I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I cannot really think of other edge cases. So the next part is about finding the solution. So what will be the solution for this one? So from the top of my head, I would say we will go from the right to the left, and we will record the maximum of the current bit. So for example, let's take this as an example. So for 2, 7, 3, and 6, I'm separating each digit using a space to make it more clear. So we go from the right side to the left side. So this one, the maximum num we currently encounter is 6, and the current the index for the last 6 is which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. And then for this bit, since we have encountered a 6 before, and 6 is larger than 3, and then we put a 6 here. And then the last time we encountered a 6 is at the third place, and we put 6 as well. And similarly, we see that before the maximum digit we have encountered is 6, but currently we have 7 here. So for this place, from the right side to the left side, the maximum digit we have encountered is 7. And the first time we encounter 7 is at index 1. And for this one, similarly, we update this bit. The first time we encounter the 7 is at the first place. Alright, so at this time we have the input array for the number, and we have the, let's call it max array, from the right side to the left side. And also we have the position. We have the last position of the largest number from the right side to the left side. So we see, and then we are going to go from the left side to the right side for the input. We see that the max currently, which is 7, is larger than 2, and it occurs in the first place. So that's pretty much how we want to make the switch. So we are going to make the switch with this 7 for the 2, and then we generate the maximum. So that's essentially the approach. We iterate through the integer from the right side to the left side, and try to set the max bit, and also record the last position the max digit has occurred. and then we reiterate through the input from the left side to the right side, and to make sure there is any possible switch we could potentially make. And in total, the runtime is going to be linear to suppose there are n digits in num, then the runtime is going to be all of n, and the space-wise is also going to be all of n. Okay, so let's start to do some coding work. So for coding work, we care about the speed and also the readability, as well as the correctness. So first of all, if num is smaller than 10, we don't need to do anything. Return the num itself. And at this time, we are going to get an array. So let's say, how to say that? So if it is, so we are going to suppose we have a car array, which is a cars is equal to integer dot toString, right? So I'm trying to turn the nums, the nums into a int array to represent it. So integer dot toString num, and then to car array. That should be able to represent the car array, and the integer, the digits, is going to be equal to new int cars dot length, and int I is equal to 0, smaller than the cars dot length plus I. Alright, so the digit I is equal to cars I minus 0. So we have generate the digit array, and the next thing is for us to compute the alright, so I actually, when we try to iterate through it, we can compute it on the fly. So how to do that? So we could do, what we could do is we could do cars, you could go from the cars.length minus 1, and I is larger or equal to 0, and minus I. Alright, so digit now is equal to cars I minus 0, and okay, so let's set up the int max digit array is new int cars dot length, and the int car max index is equal new int cars dot length as well. Okay, so the max digit I is equal to I is larger than is equal to, alright, so how to say that? If it is it equal to cars dot length minus 1? So if yes, then we pretty much just need to get digit I. Otherwise, it should be max digit I plus 1 with digit I. Okay. Sure. And let's see. So alright, so let's make it a bit more clear. So if I is equal to cars dot length minus 1, then the max digit would be equal to max digit I is equal to digit I, and the max index I is equal to I. Otherwise, what we need to do is we need to see if max digit so let's see if the max digit I plus 1 is larger than digit I, then we are going to say, okay, max digit I plus 1 is equal to max digit I is equal to max digit I plus 1. Otherwise, we are going to set the digit max digit I is equal to digit I. Okay, so it's larger or equal, then we just set it as that one. Otherwise, okay. So if it's the first time for us to make so for this one, because 6 is larger than 7, so we still need to keep track of the last occurrence of the max digit. So sure. So this one, the max index I would be max index I plus 1 as well. And this one, max index I is equal to I. Okay. And then finally, we are going to iterate through it. So int I is equal to 0. I is smaller than cars.length and the plus I. We will see if max digit I is larger than digit I, so we need to make a swap. So we are going to say, okay, digit I is, so we are going to swap max digit I and digit I. How to do that? So it's some okay, so we are going to swap okay, so we will say that digit I is equal to max digit I, which at this index, and the digit max index I is equal to, you should be able to set temp is equal to digit I. Okay, and then it's equal to temp. So you're going to make the switch and we are going to reformat we are going to reformat the digits into a number. So this one, it would be like string builder sb is equal to new string builder for I equal to 0, I smaller than cars.length plus I, and speed.append, so it's digit I, and we will finally speed return sp.toString. Okay, so that's pretty much it about this coding. Let's do some sanity check for this one. So for testing, the first thing we need to do is to go through a simple test case and explain how it works. So let's say the input currently it is, let's say input is 2736, and the max and also the index. So at the very beginning we start from the right side to the left side. So when I is the last character, then we set max digit to be 6 and index to be I, which is 3. And then otherwise we do the comparison. We see that the max digit I plus 1 is larger than, if it's larger or equal, so if because it's larger, so we will set the max digit to be 6 for this bit, and the max index is gonna be 3 here. And similarly, we see that 7, which is larger than the max digit, so it's the else branch. So we will set the max digit to be 7 and the max index to be 1 here. And similarly, we are going to jump into this if branch when when I is equal to 0. And then you're going to say that max digit is equal to 7 for at index 0 and the index is 1 here. Okay, so we should be good. And let's see for the next part, the switch part. So we see that if max digit is larger than digit I, which is the first one, we are going to set the temp as 2 and assign the max digit to be 7. So currently it is 7 here. And then we are going to put the index digit index at 1 to be 2 and to assign the temp. So we are going to have 7236 returned. Alright, so I think it should be good. Let's give it a shot. Okay, some compile arrow. Alright, so it should be, we are using something. Yeah, so we are using something here, and sp dot, so stream builder, new stream builder dot to string. Yes, it is to string, cannot convert it to okay, it's like integer dot to string dot parse int. Okay, and sp dot to string. Okay, alright, so it works. Let's give it a submission. Okay, so it works for this problem. And regarding the test case setup, I would say if we set up example 1 and example 2 and also have a number less than 10, I would say that should have enough test cases to cover different branches. Alright, so that's it for this coding question. So if you have any question regarding this specific puzzle, please leave me some comments, and if you like this video, please give me a thumb up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.